Well, if you're looking for a new church and you check on the website or you go and visit, sometimes it's difficult to tell much about the church from your first visit or just from the website. And so here are 4 things that you want to look for. If you're going, moving to a new town, or you're going off to college, you have to find a church. Things to look for on the website, or asking the pastor, these 4 things. Firstly, and I would make this really one of the first questions, what would I have to do to be kicked out of your church? What you're asking about is church discipline. Does the church do church discipline according to Matthew 18 and 1 Corinthians 5? The reason this is a very important question is because if a church says we don't do church discipline and everybody's welcome here no matter what you know about that is that the people in the church do not have a commitment to holiness. The leadership does not have a commitment to holiness. If, for example, there's a boyfriend and a girlfriend that move in together, they're sleeping together, and the church won't do church discipline on them, you're going to have a little leavening the whole lump. In other words, more and more people are going to fall into that sin because they see there's no consequence. That's exactly what Paul warns against in 1 Corinthians 5. You want a church that is committed to the Bible and to teaching the Bible and to making sure that the people actually live out what they are going to, what they're learning. Now, of course, if they say, well, we'll kick you out of this church if you don't come in the dress code, or if we find that you, you visited a dance club, or you went to see a movie at a movie house or whatever, now you know, okay, well, this is possibly an overly fundamentalist church, and they do church discipline at the drop of the hat, so you can run from that too. So, first thing, do you do church discipline? Another diagnostic question you might want to ask is, do you teach a 6-day creation? Now, that's not really a massive hill to die on, but it's going to tell you a lot about the church, because if they say, no, we believe in evolution, or this isn't something we want to get into, then that shows you that they're not committed to a literal hermeneutic or a literal way of interpreting the scripture. And that's a yellow flag. So I would say church discipline, if they don't do that, that's a red flag. I wouldn't go to a church that doesn't do church discipline. A yellow flag is if they don't teach creation, 6-day creation. So then another diagnostic question is, would you allow women to teach men in this church? Would you allow female pastors or female elders? This again is a red flag. This would be a deal breaker for me, because this shows that they're not going according to 1 Timothy 2, 1 Corinthians 11. They have updated what they believe about the Bible based on what's happening in culture and what's politically correct. It's not a very politically correct view, not a very popular view that only men can be elders, but this is the clear teaching of Scripture, and so you know that that's something that they're committed to. And then the other thing I would want to ask them is, who can serve in this church, and what does it take to serve? What is expected of me? And a church that lets just anybody serve, whether they're a member or not, that's a yellow flag. You should have a church that knows who its members are, and that the members are allowed to serve, not non-members, and that all members need to serve. This just shows you, again, this is a church that's committed to Scripture, it's a healthy church, and they understand the importance of membership.